Coach Prime shared some good news about one of the CU stars, and the Rockies have 3 Gold Glove finalists. This is your Denver Sports Daily for October 16th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Coach Deion Sanders had some really good news to share about Travis Hunter after he left the game against Kansas State this last Saturday in the second quarter with a shoulder injury. And because of that, he also fell into 5th place in the Heisman odds. But Coach Prime shared that him and his team expect him to be ready to play this weekend. That's huge news for both CU and Travis Hunter and all the fans, of course, because he is one of the most important players, if not the most important player on this CU roster. But also along with that, Sanders also shared that another star receiver, Jimmy Horn Jr., could be back as early as this weekend as well. These two players are some of the most important players on this Colorado offense and defense with Travis Hunter. And it brings up the question, will Travis Hunter be able to play both sides of the ball if he's coming off an injury like this? My gut tells me no, but also my heart and my head kind of tell me, he may want to go out there and play both sides to show people that he's going to be able to do this at the highest level, because I know that that's one of the main questions about him going to the NFL. Is he going to be able to play at the same level as he was in college, both sides of the ball? That one, I'm probably leaning more towards no. He'll either be drafted as a cornerback or a wide receiver. We could see him come in on both sides in the NFL, but I really doubt that he's going to be designated playing both sides. A two-way player in the NFL is so rare. It's almost impossible. But with him coming off an injury, that does really kind of put a wrench in that. Will he be able to play both sides at the college level any longer? I think yes, but also I really don't. It's hard to say if he's going to be able to do that anymore. But with that, it's probably more important, at least in my point of view, to have him play on the defensive side. He's such a power on the defense. If Jimmy Horn comes back and he's on offense, then yeah, we have a great receiver in him, because that kind of play with Travis Hunter playing on both offensive and defensive sides, it's not going to work if he's coming off an injury. And sure, you may be using your shoulder more on defense, but we need help more on the defensive side of the ball, not as much on the offensive side. We saw what Shedeur can do with both Jimmy Horn and Travis Hunter out this past weekend. He still played amazing. So Shedeur is one of those players, and it may be too early to say because it is college, but he's one of those players that can elevate the rest of his offense just by his play. The defense needs somebody like that on their side. That's where Travis Hunter can make a big impact. That's where he can be the leader on that side of the ball, because we saw Shiloh Sanders coming off that injury. Unfortunately, he didn't play that well this past weekend. So we need somebody like Travis Hunter to kind of lead that defense and be that kind of star that will help us win games in the end. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. We hope he can be back this weekend. Coach Prime obviously said that he was expecting him to be there, but still, there's a lot of, mandates. Maybe he's going to be held back by the training staff, something like that. Hopefully not. But again, we're going to keep an eye on that. And it's good news that Coach Prime has some confidence that he's going to be able to play. Now, moving on, as bad as the Rockies may be, there are 3 standout players being recognized for their play. Third baseman Ryan McMahon, shortstop Ezekiel Tovar, and center fielder Brenton Doyle were all named finalists for the 2024 Gold Glove Award. Congratulations to them. That's a huge nomination. This is the 2nd straight year for Tovar and Doyle, and the 4th year for Ryan McMahon. The only player of the 3 to actually win last year was Brenton Doyle, bringing home the Rockies' first ever Gold Glove in center field. The award ceremony will be held on November 3rd. Obviously, very excited to see where that's going to lead. The Rockies may be terrible, but at least they have some stars to rely on, some players that, are going to make an impact. So it's good that they're being recognized for what they're doing. Congratulations to those players. Now, I don't know if any of them are going to win it. Hopefully they do. But again, the Rockies need to start looking at these players and being like, we need to build around them. I'm so sick of these players not being recognized as much as they should be. They should be built around. That's a major problem that the Rockies have had for so long. They're not putting as much money into the team as they should be. You need to be bringing in stars, and not stars like Chris Bryant. They need to be bringing in stars. They need to be looking in the draft, and they need to be getting players who are going to bring an impact to this team immediately, because this has been a rebuild stage for my whole life. I guess we went to the playoffs like a couple of years ago. That was good, but still, we need to, do more to start building this team right now around players like this who are being recognized for their outstanding play. It's painful to watch things like this go to waste because we are having one of the worst records of all time for this team. This is the second straight year that we've had 100 losses, which has never had we've never had 100 losses before these past 2 years. So it's really sickening that we have players like this who are so good and being recognized for their efforts, and we can't do anything to elevate them and bring them to where they need to be in the playoffs. Now, moving on, before I get too angry about the Colorado Rockies, yesterday the Buffalo Bills made a trade with the Cleveland Browns for wide receiver Amari Cooper. Huge news. And also we saw that Devontae Adams was traded to the Jets yesterday. I talked about that. But those two trades were huge in the AFC. Now, the Bills sent the Browns a 2025 sixth, 2025 third, and a 2026 seventh round pick for the star wideout, giving them a true wide receiver one, which is going to be a problem for the league. As we've seen, Josh Allen has lifted the players around him, like I was talking about Shedeur earlier. He's lifting up his players. Same thing we see with Patrick Mahomes. He's making the players around him better and giving him an Amari Cooper. It's huge. And after Stephon Diggs left the Bills this past offseason, they were in desperate need of somebody to fill that wide receiver one void. And they hope that Cooper can be that guy. And I think he is that guy. Cooper is a standout. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's recorded 9,736 yards on 691 receptions with 62 touchdowns in 11 years. So obviously with that 11 years going on a bit of an older side, but still Amari Cooper is one of those legends. Legend may be a strong word, but he's one of those guys that's a household name. He's a great player. Giving the Bills that's an issue for the league. But I will go back to that Devontae Adams trade. I think that the Devontae Adams trade actually has more of an impact on the Broncos because the Jets are going to be in the same kind of area as the Broncos. If their play this past Sunday, the Broncos, play this last Sunday, is anything reflective to what we can see for the rest of the season, I think that the Jets and the Broncos are going to be very close in the standings. So with them getting somebody like Devontae Adams, may be a bit of a problem for the Broncos because if they've got somebody like that, a wide receiver one who's better than all of our wide receivers on our team, it's going to be tough to compete with them in terms of the standings. Now, the Bills are most likely going to win their division. I think that the Bills are already a Super Bowl contending team. So giving them Cooper is doing more for them than it is hurting the Broncos. It's giving them a true wide receiver one that they can rely on because Khalil Shakir, I don't know if I love Khalil Shakir. I've been a fan of his. I think he's one of the most reliable receivers. He had the 33 consecutive passes that he was targeted and caught them. That's a great record to have, but I don't think he has that record anymore. But still, giving them somebody like that's a problem for the league. We'll keep an eye on that. I think that they're going to do well with Amari Cooper. I think they're going to improve, but still, I think that Josh Allen's one of those guys I can succeed if you put anybody on his team. You put Marvin Mims on his team, and Marvin Mims can get 1,000 yards. I would love to see that. Huge Marvin Mims fan. Now moving on, the MLB League Championship round of the playoffs is underway, and they are heating up. The New York Yankees lead the Cleveland Guardians with a 2-0 series lead after winning last night 6-3. And the LA Dodgers and New York Mets face off tonight at 6:08 p.m. Both teams look to take a series lead as they're knotted up 1-1. And if you've watched any of the playoffs this year, it has been so much fun to watch. Watching like these four teams, I'm going to kind of put the Cleveland Guardians out of it because I don't know how many people want to see a Cleveland Guardians World Series. But with the Yankees expected to go, either they're playing the Mets and we're having a Subway Series in the World Series, or they're playing the Dodgers and we're getting the best of both worlds where we're getting New York versus LA. And that would be so much fun to watch. I've been a fan of the Dodgers. I want the Dodgers to go a long way. I'm just with all of my teams taken out of it. It's kind of fun to just go with the West. I like the Dodgers. I love Shohei. You got to be a fan of greatness when you're watching it. So seeing where this is going to end up is going to be a fun ride any way that it goes. I'm very excited, and it's been really, really fun to watch. So we'll keep you updated on that tonight as the LA Dodgers and New York Mets again take on tonight at 6:08 p.m. That's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I got one I want to read here. Any Avalanche buzz after our loss to the Islanders? 0-3 could start to be the rumor, could be the start of the rumor mill. Yeah, I said this Monday, not a fan of how the Avs are looking right now. And I don't think that how they're playing is going to lead to winning enough games to get in the playoffs or even winning any games at all. And obviously, they're going to win some. It's a long season, but still, when you're going out, you're putting up 20 goals through 3 games. That's not going to lead to a winning record at all. That's not going to lead to winning any games. And with Georgiev and Annunen both not doing well, we have that one goalie who's dealing with something, but he's not coming in yet. They picked up the kid. I forget his name. I apologize. But those two goalies are not doing well at all. And we saw Georgiev played all 3 periods this last game against the Islanders and let up 2 goals per game or per period. Just not a winning formula. Not a winning formula. I don't think they're going to do well this season at all. And we again, I've been saying we've had these questions about the goalie position since last season, since last playoffs, since the end of last season. They haven't been performing the way that you're supposed to perform at the highest level in the NHL. And also, as a goalie, you're the most important player on a team. Arguably, you're the last line of defense. So if you're letting 6 goals a game through, it's just not going to lead to anything successful. It's not going to lead to a successful team. It's not going to lead to successful wins. And if they do win, it's going to be rugged. It's going to be nasty. It's not going to be a game where we're, dominating. It's going to be a game where we're going back and we're having to fight for every win. So I mean, I'm not high on the Avs this year. I'm very nervous to where they're going to end up. So that's the only buzz that I can give you right now with the rumors. But still, very, very disappointed in how the Avs are playing. But yep, that is going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'm going to be back with you guys again tomorrow. We got the Broncos playing tomorrow, Thursday night game. Very excited against the Saints. Sean Payton's going back to New Orleans. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to talk about that with you guys tomorrow. So I will see you guys again at the same time tomorrow, 10 a.m. I will see you guys later. Bye.